We still in Dallas, and this is the morning after show. You guys already know what it is. Cowboys fell to the Packers last night, so we got some stuff we need to talk about, stuff we need to get off our chest, maybe stuff we need to get in our chest too. God dang it. I'm gonna let some people get on here first before we go live on IG. Make sure everything sounds good. It is the morning after. Cowboys fell to the Packers last night, so we got some stuff we need to talk about. Looks like we got poor reception, how everything. Maybe stuff we need to get in our chest too. God dang it. I'm gonna let some people get on here first before we go live on IG. I want to show you these amenities your boy got set up with. Look at this. I'm over here at the Omni. Man, shout out to Cowboys packages, man. They put me and my wife up in this beautiful hotel. The service out here is not good, so I'm probably gonna go inside. I want to show you these amenities your boy got set up with. Look at this. I'm over here at the Omni. Shout out to Cowboys packages. We trying to put me and my wife up in this beautiful hotel. Go over here, see if we can get some better service, y'all. Alright, the service out here is not good, so I'm probably gonna go inside. Service looks a little bit better over here. We still moving. Shout out to Cowboys packages. There we go. Over here, see if we get some better service, y'all. Alright, the service out here is not good, so I'm probably gonna go inside. Service looks a little bit better over here. We still. So yo, what's up with y'all, man? It's your favorite Cowboy, West Coast, man. You already know what it is. Your Cowboy cousin. And we live in the building, man. The service out here is kind of crappy. So I apologize for that. I might even end up going inside the building. Let's just go inside, so you guys can give you guys the best quality. As soon as I get inside, I will I'll put on the IG. But yeah, man, the Dallas Cowboys came out very, very slow yesterday, and were not able to compensate for that slow start by getting the victory. So the Dallas Cowboys were not victorious yesterday against the Packers. I definitely think we definitely need to regroup, and there's some things we need to talk about that happened in that game. A few things I was kind of concerned about. I'm not gonna lie to you. A couple of things I'm really concerned about. And then there's also some things that happened in that game yesterday that I'm actually kind of concerned, that I'm actually kind of proud about. You know what I'm saying? Because there was moments in that game where the Dallas Cowboys could have just accepted the fate of blowout and just took that blowout, right? But for some strange reason, your Dallas Cowboys kept on fighting. For some strange reason, your Dallas Cowboys kept on fighting yesterday. So the Dallas Cowboys had two choices yesterday. They could have just let Aaron Rodgers, when the blowout began, they could have just hey, shout out to my boy Donovan Olumba, number 32, hooking your boy up with the hat. He always throw your boy a hat or something. I appreciate you, man. I'll keep putting that fire content out, and I appreciate those players who support your boy. But, all right, looks like we good to go on IG. Mike Poland, what up with you, man? He says, I think it's time to fire Jason Garrett. I think I'm going to start there, man. I'm going to talk about this game a little bit, but I want to start first with the fire Jason Garrett stuff, because I think that people who say fire Jason Garrett have a very low, and I'm not trying to offend anybody, but I think they have a low wealth of education when it comes to football. Because a lot of times people who say fire the coach when they don't know what else to do. You know what I'm saying? Because it is amazing to me that you will watch this team come out and the execution that they've had in the last 2 weeks, which has not been good, and the first thing you want to say is fire the head coach. Like, my question to you is, did Jason Garrett throw a pass? Did he drop a pass? Did he make a block? Did he do any of that? He didn't do any of that. Jason Garrett doesn't do any of that. Jason Garrett doesn't call plays. He doesn't call defensive plays. He's a facilitator of the team. So when he does positive things, it's all Kellen Moore. But as soon as something bad happens or we don't win a game, the first thing that comes out of people's mouth is fire the head coach. And then I want to ask you guys a question. How does firing your head coach week 6, how does that benefit your team at all? Like, how does that benefit your team at all? You know what I'm saying? And what I've also learned is people will watch football and they won't really understand. Well, they'll understand, but they can't articulate themselves on why they should get rid of this player or why they should just run better plays. So the first thing that comes out of your mouth, which is easiest to say, is fire the head coach. Because in your mind, you feel firing one person is going to help these guys run better routes. It's going to help your defensive line get to the quarterback better. It's going to help your team coming out sluggish. One thing that we need to understand about this team is this, and that's your Dallas Cowboys never gave up on Jason Garrett. If Jason Garrett is the leader of this team, tell me this, when your team is down, why don't they give up? Remember that. That's the question I want to know. Why doesn't your team give up? You want to know why? Because that's what Jason Garrett. Like, think about this. We lost 2 games to 2 playoff teams. And think about this. Both games, your team did not give up and was trying to win a game or trying to come back in the final seconds. Like, you guys need to look at the heart of your team in the energy that they do put out. Like, it's not like I get it that you're gonna have best execution. I get it that you're gonna have people make dumb decisions. You're gonna have that. You're gonna have a holding call that. Like, there is never a perfect game. But I want to know. You tell me a game where your Dallas Cowboys gave up on their coach. You tell me that. You tell me a time where this team gave up on Jason Garrett. Want to know why I know they don't give up on Jason Garrett? Because Dak Prescott currently leads the NFL in comebacks. So you know what that is? That's a mentality. That is a mentality. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not about to sit up here and parade and say that Jason Garrett is the best coach in the world. But I'm going to tell you this. You are ignorant if you say to fire your head coach and you don't have a replacement. Nor do you even have a plan of replacement. That's like West Coast saying, you know what, I'm going to quit my job. Why? Because I'm mad at what they did to me. Okay, so where are you going to go to work at? Where are you going to go at? And then we have people, I saw no focus and no execution. Okay, what was the focus? It's funny how you see focus when there's a victory, but when there's no loss, when there's a loss, you don't see no focus. The Packers did the exact same thing the Dallas Cowboys did. They just did it opposite. They came out fast and ended slow. We came out slow and ended fast. It's the only difference. That's the only difference of what happened yesterday. The Green Bay Packers came out ridiculously fast, and they started slow. And they ended slow. They ended slow. And you know what we did? We came out ridiculously slow and ended fast. You know what I'm saying? And then and I'm going to stay on Jason Garrett for a couple people because Chris Richard is not the replacement either. He's not. He's not. Chris Richard will not be the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. He won't. For one, it doesn't even make any sense. Why are you going to put a defensive head coach in front of your team? Like, our defense doesn't need any help. That's not the focus of the Dallas Cowboys. The focus of the NFL is scoring points. Like, the Dallas Cowboys are not going to. And then think about this. If Chris Richard was going to be the head coach, he would have been the head coach last year. He would have been the head coach last year. Like, I'm going to be honest with you, what you guys need to see is better execution from your freaking team. Like, before you guys start labeling the coach who doesn't throw a pass, who doesn't run a route, name out some of these players. It's amazing to me that you guys won't call out players. You want to know why we won't call out a player? You won't call out a player or execution because that makes you feel un-cowboyish. But you can call out Jason Garrett. Why? Because he's just a dude. He's a dude. So my first little thought that just looking at my first notes with this game yesterday. My first notes, honestly, the first thing that I noticed coming out the gate, honestly, is your Dallas Cowboys, man, were the offensive line was struggled. The thoughts that we had as far as trying to see if Cam Fleming was going to be able to hold up and keep that thing going were non-existent. Let's just be real. You know what I'm saying? Cam Fleming, we thought that he was going to be more prepared for this game, and he was not. You know what I'm saying? And to be honest with you, it really wasn't even about, like, It really wasn't even about like Cam Fleming getting blew up. It was more about guys just flat out just getting around him. Like there were times in this game where guys didn't even touch Cam Fleming. They just flat out got around him. You know what I'm saying? And they were beating. This team has a problem with speed, whether that be at the wide receiver position. And this is something I've been saying for, since training camp. I've said it about certain DBs. I've said that about certain DBs. I've said that about certain linebackers, that this team has a problem with speed. You know what I'm saying? When they play against about this, being a Dallas Cowboy and being a Dallas Cowboy fan is this, man. You got to understand teams are going to bring their best. They're going to bring their A game when they play the Dallas Cowboys. And this defensive front, my boy Boss Cowboy, he put this out there. And my boy Boss Cowboy said this. The freaking Patriots brought in the #1 pass rush in the NFL. That's who they brought in here, the #1 pass rush in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? And guess what they did? They got after the quarterback. You had two backup offensive line playing for the majority of the game. Why? Because La'el Collins went down. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, the guy who replaced La'el Collins wasn't even playing that bad. You know what I'm saying? But on that right side, as far as just protecting Dak Prescott's blind side, man, there was like he was rushed, man. And Dak Prescott did not seem comfortable in that first drive. You know what I'm saying? He did not feel comfortable. He did not seem comfortable at all that first half. All right, I'm about to go on IG because I think I got enough going on Facebook right now. Like, he did not feel comfortable in that first half. You know what I'm saying? What you saw is Dak Prescott getting more comfortable as the game going along. And that's exactly what I was saying earlier when I said that the Dallas Cowboys, we did the opposite of what the Green Bay Packers did. They came in and they started off fast and ended slow. And then went out there and started off slow. And blogger to get myself prepared for this game. And I figured I was pretty prepared for this game. I thought I had a pretty good game plan coming into this game. And my game plan, honestly, wasn't even all like scientific or any of that. Like, what's up? We live on IG. My game plan wasn't even all scientific or none of that. My game plan was very, very simple, man. And that was run the damn ball, man. Run the ball. As you run the ball, what happens? You keep the ball out of Aaron Rodgers' hands. And since Aaron Rodgers doesn't have the ball in his hand, how is he able to score on you? How is Aaron Rodgers able to score on you? How is he able to move the ball? How is he able to control the clock? How is he able to prevent himself from getting sacked over and over and over if he's not on the actual field? You can't do it. Like, you just can't do it. And that's why I said the #1 thing that I was saying about Aaron Rodgers, we're just going to go inside so it don't keep on messing up. The #1 thing I kept saying about Aaron Rodgers in this game was what? You beat Aaron Rodgers by keeping the ball out of his hands. The Dallas Cowboys, we tried to go out there and match fire with fire, and we don't have it. Kept that thing real. And what was real was this. Run the ball and keep the ball out of Aaron Rodgers' hands. That was what we needed to do. And think about this, it was working. The reason how I know it was working is because Ezekiel Elliott had 12 carries for 5.2 yards per carry. How is that not working? Your running back is averaging 5.2 yards per carry, and you're not giving him the ball. Like that's the thing that bothers me about the Dallas Cowboys. Remember, I told you guys we had a couple things that I liked and a couple things that was bothering me. And one of the things that bothered me is the fact that the Dallas Cowboys, we feel, it seems like at times we don't have an identity. Like we don't have one thing that we want to do well and hang our hats on. Because Ezekiel Elliott was running the ball effectively. Like, the boy was running the ball effectively. And we just went away from it. We could have controlled the entire game with Zeke, with his 5.2 yards per carry. Think about this. 5 yards, there's only 10 yards in the first down. You get 5 yards per carry, bro. Two carries, and that's a first down. Why didn't we keep running the ball and slowing the game down? Like, that's the #1 thing that irritates me about my Dallas Cowboys. It just feels like we want to be something that we're not. Like, we want to be something that we're not. Slow the game down. Slow the game down. Keep Aaron Rodgers on the sidelines. How do you do that? By running the freaking ball. And it was working.
You know what I'm saying? I applaud Amari Cooper having a huge day. And I'm going to be honest with you, man. Amari Cooper is a freaking soldier, man. Amari Cooper is a freaking soldier. I have pictures. I have pictures and video, bruh, of have y'all remember the picture, the picture back in the day from the Boston Red Sox? I think it was like Matt Sillinger or something. Like he had the infamous thing where his heel was bleeding. Bro, that was Amari Cooper all game yesterday. Got a YL official. That was Amari Cooper all day yesterday. All day. That was Amari Cooper's heel all day, bleeding. I have a video I'm going to drop, man. It's just, even, right before Amari Cooper had his big touchdown play, he was on his knees, like literally on his knees, trying to get himself recuperated and rubbing his leg. That young man got up about 2.5 minutes later and took a 60-some yard pass to the house. Like,
I said, maybe he isn't hurt.
Why else said maybe he isn't hurt? But bro, I'm gonna post that video too because it shows the dog in this guy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, what's up with you, Diane? What's up with you, Legacy? What's up? I can't see anybody on Facebook, so I apologize for that. I appreciate you guys for tuning in your comments, though. You know what I'm saying? So that was, I see this team not quitting. And that's why I know out of all people, it's probably, y'all probably come on here and be like, I know West Coast gonna be down with firing the coach. But that's why I really be like, I don't put these losses on Jason Garrett because I feel like this team was prepared. I just feel like they didn't execute. Like we ain't got blew out. And then think about this, you lost to two teams that are both gonna be in the playoffs. Now, obviously, that's not necessarily a good thing about it, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, man, it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to prepare yourself to beat these type of teams. Why? Because these are the type of teams that you're going to see in the playoffs. And to be honest with you, I think Jason Garrett had these guys ready for these games, both these games. Why? Because it showed in the end, because they were still in both games. Like there's no quit in these Dallas Cowboys. And I love that about my team. You know what I'm saying? I just 100% believe that the Dallas Cowboys they're not executing. And then secondly, we need to understand what our identity is. We want to make Dak go out here and let Dak throw us to a victory. Bruh, that's not conducive to what we want to do with a $90 million running back. Like, I'm going to just be real with you. Dak shouldn't even have had the chance to throw 3 interceptions yesterday. He shouldn't have. You want to know why? Because why is he throwing the ball 44 times? Like, why is he throwing the ball 44 times? That is not Dak's game at all. Like, that is not his game. And Jihad, you don't play for the Dallas Cowboys. I'm going to be honest with you. Anybody that don't play for the Dallas Cowboys that's saying that Jason Garrett don't do anything, man, you don't know what you're talking about. Because this team showed that Jason Garrett is doing his job when they didn't quit yesterday. Talk to me before you talk about a coach who don't call a play, who don't sweat on the sidelines. Talk to me about an actual player. Because I'm going to be honest with you. It irritates me so much when we lose and the first thing somebody want to say is fire a head coach. Like, what is that going to do? Tell me one example of a team firing a head coach and then fixing the team. Tell me and I will listen. Inbox me. Y'all know where it is. In Instagram, DM me. And then if you fire Jason Garrett, who's your head coach? Kellen Moore? How does that fix your problem? He's the one calling the plays. How does that happen? And to be honest with you, the way these DBs is playing right now, I definitely don't want Chris Richard. Byron Jones out there playing bounce football. He ain't even playing touch football. He don't play touch, he don't play tackle, he play bounce. That's what he does. What does your head coach do for this team? He brings the mentality. He brings the mentality of this team. And guess what? With Sean McVay, what does Sean McVay want? What does he want? Answer that question. What does he want? Sean McVay has only done one thing, and that's get 2 more games further than us in the playoffs. That's it. He lost in the last year in the playoffs, and the year before the last in the playoffs. So what has Sean McVay done? What has he done? What has he done? Tell me what Sean McVay has done. Nothing. Like, what is here goes your Sean McVay. Here goes your participation trophy. Congratulations. Like, give a damn about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't nobody give a dang about that, bruh. We trying to go progress into this tournament. We don't call it the playoffs, we call it the tournament. You know know what I'm saying? Don't name no hot young coach that ain't won nothing. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, people just be mad at Jason Garrett and don't understand where to shoot. So guess what? The first person to shoot is Jason Garrett. Oh, let me shoot Jason Garrett. Will says Jason Garrett doesn't make this team better. This is what I will know is this team never gave up. They never give up on Jason Garrett. Never. They didn't give up in that Rams game, and they surely didn't give up on him on those 11 comebacks. And just think about this. They didn't give up on him yesterday. When your team was down by 20 points, when we were down by 28 points, you know what your team did? Instead of laying down and getting blew out like Atlanta, getting blew out like all these other teams, you know what your Dallas Cowboys did? Your Dallas Cowboys fought. That's what your team did. And I know you guys don't like the outcome. I get it. We wanted to win. I get it. But you need to respect the fact that this team did not give up on their head coach, and they never do. We were 3-5 last year. We traded for one person in this team caught on fire. One person. That's a team that doesn't give up, man. Y'all need to give your head coach a little bit more credit, man. Like, you need to give your head coach a little bit more credit because there's coaches out here doing way less. Way less. Okay, let's talk about let's talk about Dak. It says, bruh, Dak Prescott is 5-9 against playoff teams since 2 years ago. I mean, it is what it is, man. Like, but Dak Prescott is what? I mean, it is what it is. Like, Dak Prescott isn't the entire team. Dak Prescott didn't throw, he threw 3 interceptions yesterday, but I'm going to be honest with you guys. I only put one of those interceptions on Dak because one ball, the ball physically hit the wide receiver in his hand. Williams says, a coach makes the team better. That's one thing's coach. Then what is Sean McVay doing to the Rams? Go look. I'm going to give you guys an example, right? Go look at how many wins Sean McVay has since coming in since 2016, and go look at how many wins Jason Garrett has since 2016, and get back to me. All right, I'm gonna let you do the research because some of y'all don't like doing your own research. You just be milking me for everything. You know what I'm saying? No, some of y'all need to go do your own research so that because I'll turn the light on for some of you guys and it won't stay on. But what I've learned is sometimes when I don't give you the whole thing and I let you go search it for yourself, that light bulb turns on yourself and can't nobody turn it off. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna just go let y'all do that. I'm gonna go let y'all do that. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let y'all go that. You know what I'm saying? That's what I know. You know what I'm saying? But let's talk about this defense. Let's talk about this defensive line for a bit, because you guys, we didn't talk about the head coach so long. Y'all didn't want to talk about the defensive line and why we can't get no pressure up the middle, right? That's Jason Garrett's fault too, huh? I know. I will say maybe it was Jason Garrett's fault because maybe he did have something to do with the picking of one Tristan Hill. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. That was a wasted pick, man. And I'm not trying to put this game on. Tristan Hill because you can't put a whole game on Tristan Hill. But I will say this, man. Tristan Hill is a guy that we drafted to help us and give us support up the middle, and it's not working. It's just not working. Let's just be real. Let's just be real. You know what I'm saying? Tristan Hill, I think his draft grade was correct. His draft grade was that of a 3rd to 4th round pick at best. And guess what? We reached and grabbed him in the second round. Why? Because someone in management liked him. They liked his mentality. They liked what he brought to the Dallas Cowboys. And guess what? Now he is being forced on the Dallas Cowboys. I'm just being real with you. I 100% feel that the Dallas Cowboys are forcing Tristan Hill on us. They want us to be a part of it. You know what I'm saying? And to be honest with you, my boy Kid Capreem says Taco 2.0. I need you to slap yourself because Taco has 2 sacks right now in the NFL and is currently a top 10 in the NFL in sacks right now as we speak. So if you're saying Taco has 2 sacks, you're absolutely right. But don't put Taco and Tristan. Taco is a way better player than Tristan Hill. Way better player. Way better player. But guess what? But think about this. We kept Joe Jackson. Where's Joe Jackson at? What was he doing? Where are these players that we kept in lieu of Taco? You know what they're doing? They're on the bench sucking, not doing nothing. Tristan Hill, no pressure. All that fast explosion, get up that we thought we said, all this, that. No, man. You know what that was? That was you selling yourself on the pick because you knew you couldn't change it. See, that's the difference between, I'm sorry, y'all. That's the difference, and I love y'all, but that's the difference between Cowboy fans and the scouts. You know what I'm saying? Cowboy fans be like, we'll draft someone and be like, oh, yeah, he's going to be great. He's going to be great. The scouts will be like, man, I don't give a damn if we drafted him or not. He's not good. Now, yes, I'll deal with him and I'll put it up with it, but I'm not about to fake the funk on a nasty dunk. I ain't about to do that. Like, I'm not about to do that. An immediate need that we need to fix right now is we need a defensive tackle. We need a defensive tackle. Bad. We should have went after Ndamukong Suh. We should have went after freaking Snacks Harrison. We should have went out of the Daniels kids from Green Bay. Why we didn't go after none of those big nasty dudes? Like, the secret is out. The Los Angeles Rams put the secret out. And that is, if you want to beat the Dallas Cowboys, beat them up the middle. Like, I'm just being real with you. The Rams put the secret out on the Dallas Cowboys. If you want to beat the Dallas Cowboys, run up the middle. Because we have nothing in the interior. And I'm going to be keeping 100 with you. My boy, y'all already know my boy, Hot Boy Woods. Y'all know I got mad love for my boy Woods. But yo, my boy ain't played in 2 weeks. So I'm not about to just come back and just be like, oh, Woods is just about to come back and just fix all the problems in the middle. That is not realistic. That's not realistic. We should have went after one of those big name D tackles and dropped his butt in the middle. Because teams are killing us up the middle right now. And guess what? For all y'all folks that say, where was DeMarcus Lawrence and where was Robert Quinn? Well, do they play middle? Do they play defensive tackle? No. They don't. So how do you expect for them to get the ball, get to the quarterback? If you think about this, the only time we were able to get to Aaron Rodgers is when we sent speed rushes. That's it. Dorrance Armstrong was able to get to him because of a broke play, and then Jalen Smith, coming from the linebacker position, did a loop around and sacked them. How do you expect to sack a quarterback if they're doing they're literally 1-2 step dropping us? And then something else that if you noticed, if they're doing too, is a lot of these teams, when they have extensive plays that are happening downfield, they always have they'll have a guy leak under Aaron Rodgers, and if it goes by, they'll just toss the ball to him. Like, those inside speeds were nasty. Baby, can I see your phone just to see the comments? Those inside reads, go to my live feed on Facebook. Those inside reads were absolutely killing the Dallas Cowboys. Like, honestly, you could have had who's a pass rusher to everybody, whatever great pass rusher you think, you could have had him on. You could have had DeMarcus Ware out there, and guess what? He would have got 0 sacks. You want to know why? Because they were playing a game as if to get the ball out fast. Period. Like, that's what they were doing. So that's why I'm like, yo, like, I understand why DeMarcus Lawrence didn't get no sacks. I get it. I get it why Quinn didn't have no sacks. I get it. Like, I get it. Like, I 100% get it. The reason being is because, did you see how quickly they were getting the ball out? And this is what I told you guys last week. I said, yo, let me tell you what these teams about to do. They about to watch film on that Saints game. They about to get up on Quinn, and they gonna be like, yeah, Quinn can get on the end. D-Law is D-Law. So guess what we about to do? We gonna get this ball out quick. And that's what teams are doing. That's what the Saints did it. That's what Aaron Rodgers did last night. They just got the ball out quick. As soon as you said hike, within 1 step, 2 steps, he's already deciding where he wants to go with the ball. So you're going to say, what do we need to do? You got to get pressure up the middle. There's really, to be honest with you, there's really nothing you can do. Because right now, we have nothing to stop in the middle. Nothing. So if I'm the team, I'm just going to run up the middle on you all game. Like, they're just going to run, they're just going to run the ball up the middle on you. That's what they're going to do all game. I told you guys, the Rams game put legitimate tape out on this Dallas Cowboy defense. And guess what? That's what they're doing. And we did not address it. We addressed it by Tristan Hill. And Tristan Hill is not that dude. Nope. He not. He might be next year. Like, he might be next year. Tristan Hill might be that dude next year, but he's not this guy. He's not that dude this year. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, except for Donovan Wilson and maybe Tony P if they even use him, I don't think this draft class is even going to help us at all this year. Because I told you guys, everybody got mad at me and Boss Cowboy when we did our draft talk. And I said, bro, we just drafted a draft full of backups. Like, I literally said that. I said, yo, we literally drafted a crew of backups. All right, let me see what you guys are talking about. I'm gonna digress. I'm gonna chill out for a minute. Let me see what y'all talking about in here. Hey man, we got 143 people on here watching live right now, and I got 16 people watching on 20 people watching on Instagram. We got 20 people watching on YouTube. We're gonna take a break quick, and we're gonna do one thing. You know what that is? We're gonna share. If you're on Facebook, I need all 146 of you guys to hit that share button right at the bottom. It's very simple. It says SHARE. I know it's weird because the R is silent, but it has a twinge to it. Sherry. I mean, I know it's not French. It's American. Hit that button. If you don't spell, it's share. It's a French word. It means to share. So hit that share button right there. There you go. Chrissy said she shared. Dino said you shared. And I'm going to tell you right now, don't be on my live feed disagreeing with me if you ain't shared either, because that's disrespectful. That's like coming in my house, eat my food, and you're going to tell me the food ain't good. Don't do that. Ray, what up with you, Riri? Mike, what's up with you? Mike said he always share. I know you do. That's why you got the top fan. Shay, how you doing? I am grateful, Taylor. I appreciate you for sharing. Miss Grace, how you doing? Sino says, would you guarantee the #1 defense if we had David Irving? Should have got Gerald McCoy. Oh my God, I forgot about Gerald McCoy. That's 4 names, bruh. Those are 4 names that were available this year. I forgot all about Gerald McCoy. Yes, Gerald McCoy. You're absolutely right. So think about this, like the Dallas Cowboys should have went after one of those D tackles. To put all this on a rookie who had a 4th round grade is really not even fair, man. Like, I try to be fair. I try to be fair and unbiased. But it's like, now that I've sat and I've thought about it for like a quick second, it's not even fair to put that on Tristan Hill. Like, it's not even fair to think that he's gonna come back and that he's going to play and solidify that middle and stop that tape that the Los Angeles Rams put out on us is not fair. Like, his draft grade isn't even conducive to him doing that. It's not fair. Like, the Cowboys were foolish to think that Tristan Hill was going to come in here and do that. And you know what it really did? I'm curious to know how these guys in that locker room feel about him. You want to know why? Because you got to see it like this. Tristan Hill took the place of a guy that had a lot of love in that locker room and is balling with his next team. So guess what else position did they put Tristan Hill in? They put him in a weird position with the team. Why? Because the team is now looking at him like, bro, you took the homie spot and the homie over here balling and we getting killed on the middle and you ain't doing nothing. So I'm pretty sure there's people on this defensive line that's like, I ain't rocking with it. And guess what? That really ain't his fault either. You want to know why? Because it's just what it is, man. If I tell you, hey, I'm not at home right now, I'm going to have my 15-year-old daughter pick you up and she's going to take you down the road, right? If she hits somebody and total my car on the way, you know whose fault it is? Mine. Why? Because she ain't got no license. And she ain't never drove before, and I ain't never taught her how to drive. So I can't even be mad at her. I ought to be mad at myself for doing it. Like, I remember I ain't gonna put my dad out there, but I remember my dad, I don't know what he was thinking, told my little cousin to move my car. You know what my little cousin did? He ran it through the neighbor's garage. And we said the car got, well, I ain't gonna say that on live because y'all might report me to my insurance. But this happened a long time ago anyway. And you know what I told my little cousin Pooh? I said, bro, I ain't even mad at you. But my dad, we gonna have to run that fade. I was extremely mad at my dad because I'm like, bro, how you gonna tell a 14-year-old kid to move my car, man? Like, what is wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? I couldn't even be mad at my cousin. I'm not mad at him to this day. But my pops, I still look at him like, bruh, what was you thinking? You know what I'm saying? Why? Because if you do not give someone the tools to succeed, if I don't give you the tools to build the house, how can I get mad when I walk in the house and it falls down? How can I get mad at that? Like, that's the parent in West Coast. You know what I'm saying? And that's a thing that I don't think is possible. I don't think that's a fair assumption. But I do believe that Tristan Hill is not ready, man. And I do believe that the Dallas Cowboys need to make a trade. Like, I believe that the Dallas Cowboys do need to make a trade for somebody on that middle. The reason why I want them to make a trade for that middle is because I don't want Antoine Woods to have to come back and then them feel like in a contract year that he has to be a savior. Because you know what happens? Then he can get hurt again. And I'm sorry. I have a feeling that if Antoine Woods get hurt again, they going to mess with his money. Because I ain't seen the Dallas Cowboys take care of people like that. And that's just me being real. Gerald, let's get on this. Let's get to talk some of this. Let's talk some of these comments. It says, Ray says, why don't we make adjustments to fix the middle like it's an easy fix? I think they do try to make adjustments. They do put other people in the middle. They just getting killed. They just lost. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not about just putting a body there. Like, they can put West Coast there. I mean, I go play middle for the Cowboys right now. One arm and all. I'll figure it out. For the checks they getting, I will figure it out. And guess what? I'm gonna get blew up. I'm gonna probably get. They're gonna run about 180 yards on West Coast. But I'm gonna give it a honest try, and I'm gonna chase them all the way to the end zone. So it's just not about putting a body there. It's about putting someone who can actually play and be effective there. Can we put someone that's gonna play and be effective there? I don't think there's nobody out there that can do that right now because Antoine Woods is not playing right now. My boy Ross is not. He's done. I talked to him yesterday. I had to have a heart-to-heart. You know how you gotta. You know when your kids be like, my stomach. They be like, my stomach hurt, and they be holding their heart. My son do that. He be like, my tummy hurt. Like, boy, your stomach is down here. First off. But I had to look him in the face, man. What's up, man? Is you really hurt? He broke it down. Like, my boy Ross is really hurt, man. I had, like, for real, I had to do what my mom. You know when somebody tell you they hurt, you lay hands on them and pray for them. That's what I had to do, man. I did that with Cooper too. Yeah, man. I saw Cooper yesterday, and I dapped him. I said, man, I pray healing on you right now in the name of Jesus. He received it. So we're going to believe. We're going to believe Cooper is healed. We're going to believe that Cooper is healed. Now, I ain't going to lie, this young man, my mama told me whenever you meet somebody, you never know. This might be the only time you meet him, right? So you got to say something nice to him. I try to say something nice. Now, when we saw Brett Mayer, we didn't say nothing. I just kept my mouth closed. My mama also said, if you ain't have nothing nice to say, keep your mouth closed. So I kept my mouth closed. But all them other people, they was pinche madre. Somebody, what does pinche madre cono mean? What that mean? I don't know what that mean. But somebody kept calling them a pinche madre mono. No. So I don't know. Put that in somebody. If it's bad, if it's really, really bad, don't put it in the inbox because my mama be watching my show.
Pinche madre cono.
Yeah, hey, somebody got peachy something. I said, ooh, is that a
mother, like a motherfucker or something like that.
Oh, why hell you come on, you cussing on the show? All right, so this is what we're gonna do. Don't put that in the comment box because now I know what that means. But yeah, my boy Antonio said it's bad. It's really bad. My boy Michael said it's bad. Catherine says not good at all. It's really, really bad. Yeah. Well, yeah, like I said, there were some nice people from the city of El Paso, Texas, and they all called him a pinchy. So I thought that was a good thing because so many people were saying it to him. I just thought it was a good thing, but obviously it's not a good thing. Honestly, I'm blaming a lot of this on the organization because this is my thing. Like, Brett Mayer was an 80% kicker last year. Like, let's just be real. Brett Mayer had a kicking rate of 80.0%. 80.0%. What does that mean? That means if he misses one additional kick last year, he's 78%. So that means we have a kicker on our team who's one kick away from being 78%. And you know what the Dallas Cowboys did? They brought in nobody to challenge him for his job. Think about this. Freaking Dan Bailey was kicking 87%, 80%, and because of his $4 million contract he had with the Dallas Cowboys, they brought in Brett Mayer to take his job. Think about that. We do need a new kicker, though. Like, I'm sorry. We need a new kicker. Because this is my thing, right? We are at the point of the game now where I know for a fact Jason Garrett has to go out there and he has to rethink every time he sends the kicker out. And I remember this. Bill Parcells said this about a kicker. They said, Bill Parcells, do you need a new kicker? He says, I'll need a new kicker when I have to think about sending him out there. That means if I can't just send my kicker out there and just be confident he's going to make the kick, I need a new kicker. Because if you're thinking like that, that means you might be changing game plans and there's things that you might do differently because you don't believe that he can make the kick. And if that's the only thing in life that he is getting paid to do, I'm sorry, bruh. You can't get paid to kick, Brett Mayer. I'm sorry, bruh. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Like, you don't play multiple jobs. You don't. Like, they just started letting y'all wear face masks 2 years ago. Before, fuck, kickers be out there with a helmet like this. The goddamn helmet look like this. Look like a hat. No face mask, nothing. This dude, the kicker got on. He didn't went and got a manicure, got his nose hair trimmed, got his teeth braces and everything. Why? Because he know he gonna be on TV. You ain't got one job in the world. One job in the world. I'm gonna tell you this: if my gardener cuts my grass with the efficiency that Brett Mayer kicks, I'm firing him on Wednesday. Bro, you ain't gonna have my grass looking good every third week. No, bruh. Nah. No. If my waitress serves my food with the efficiency that Brett Mayer kicks, you're not getting a tip. And my wife is probably going on Yelp. I'm just being honest with you. I married one of those. Like, for real. Like, she don't got the hair bob and everything, but she's definitely... Can I talk to your manager? That's for real. She get that from her grandma, too. So... Brett Mayer.
Never look up because the stars is always up.
No, wrong saying. I got a couple more minutes. See him trying to tell him, city. Why the other official, man? I hope I didn't get him. And I didn't say nothing bad. He was the one that said some bad stuff about Brett Mayer, not me. I didn't say nothing about his mama. I didn't say nothing about it. I just think YL felt that Brett Mayer was going to go out of the building, felt that he did okay. He felt that the Lord told him to make sure that he knew that he did not have a good game. That's all he was doing. And you know what I saw two people after I saw Cam Fleming. I told Cam Fleming, I said, Cam Fleming, I dapped him. I said two things, bruh. One, where's your